Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Storch, I certainly appreciate DoD's end-use monitoring of U.S. origin defense articles to ensure transparency and verification of U.S. military aid. Can you please describe how DoD conducts end-use monitoring on the front lines and other areas east of Kiev, and what challenges are there in conducting effective oversight?
So thank you for the question, Congressman. End-use monitoring and enhanced end-use monitoring, excuse me, for the more sensitive items is something that we continue to focus on. We've done, as I'm sure you know, a series of evaluations. We have one pending right now, and we're going to keep doing it as the situation continues to evolve. And frankly, the standards have evolved, right? Because end-use monitoring is something that historically has not taken place during active combat necessarily. And so the ability to get to the front lines, to your point, may be limited. So probably not my place to testify about what the department is doing right now. We are evaluating that. I can say I've heard in testimony that the department has indicated that they're getting out more than they were able to before to do some of the, some of the visits to actually lay eyes on, and they're using other methods. Some of those get into classified type issues, so I can't really talk about that in this forum. But we're looking at all that, and we're going to continue to look at all that going forward. And one of the things we are going to do is try to use agile reporting as we do that work to get things out as quickly as possible and as transparently as we can.
Great, thank you. Ms. Shaw, as you may know or may not, my wife is a Moldovan immigrant and I currently serve as the co-chair of the Congressional Moldova Caucus, which all of my many colleagues who are here are welcome to join. Moldova has felt the effects of Russia's war on Ukraine significantly. They have taken in over 600,000 refugees, which amounts to almost a quarter of their current population within the country's borders. And they've suffered disruptions in trade and energy supplies. Increased aid to Moldova is necessary to maintain economic growth, secure its borders, and further assist the country in responding to Russian aggression. I understand your inspection of the programs and operations out of our embassy in Chisinau are ongoing, but can you please describe its scope and methodology?
Thank you for the question. So we recognized that countries in the surrounding region are going to be very heavily impacted by this, and so we felt it was important to make sure that our work reached to those areas. As you said, we do have an ongoing inspection of the embassy in Chisinau, and so the scope of that work will be to look not only at the typical functions that we look at with any of our inspections, executive leadership, alignment with strategy and performance goals, resource management and the like, but a specific focus will be how the situation in Ukraine is impacting the country and the embassy, and how the embassy is responding to that challenge. And so I think that that work will address some of the concerns that you've raised.
And when do you expect the investigation to be complete?
It's an inspection, and I can get back to you with the specifics, but I think it would probably be out later this summer.
Okay.
Or early fall.
Prior to, obviously, the Russian invasion of Ukraine, President Sandu was working with our government here in the United States and the previous Congress to put in place sanctions on, Russian oligarchs and others who had corrupted the prior administrations over there. So I think the more that we can continue to support her efforts, obviously, will ensure their long-term stability there. How many U.S. aid, state, and DoD personnel are currently on the ground conducting oversight across all inspections?
If that's a question about Office of Inspector General personnel, we currently do not have permanent staff based at Embassy Kyiv. For our part at State OIG, we have been able to advance our audit work by sending in teams on TDYs, and so that's been effective up to this point, but we have officially requested from the department positions at Embassy Kyiv going forward for oversight. I know that's true for each of my colleagues as well. To date, we've received department support for our request, and so we're working through that process, and we've been assured it's being given expedited review given the circumstances.
Okay. My time has almost expired. Obviously, transparency and accountability and oversight is critically important, but we must continue our support of Ukraine, and I support the efforts to help them reclaim their sovereignty. So thank you for your work. I yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Lawler. And we
Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications so every time I put out a video, you can know about it. It'll come up in your feed. Hit that like button if you liked it. And be positive. Peace.